Coming back up to the farm to see if I can fit a wrench up to that hydraulic fitting. But I just thought I'd grab a shot of this beautiful, nearly full moon tonight. It is gorgeous, especially with that light dusty snow cover we have on. It's reflecting it so nicely. And I didn't catch a clip of it before, but beautiful orange sunset on the other direction. Get you a shot of this moon here quick. And there it is with those beautiful cedar trees. So it's been a while, but here we are back in the Grow Lab. It's January 13th. I've been primarily focused on outside stuff, which I usually don't do this time of year. But I want to get tractors and farm space and clearing all that kind of stuff up to par so that this spring we can plant and actually have some crops yield out besides potatoes, be able to keep the deer off things. So I haven't been doing as much work in this lab this year. It's kind of just been holding things over for the following season, but that's all right. It is nice to pop my head in here occasionally. I wanted to follow up on the Meyer and blood orange, Meyer lemon, blood orange, and Valencia orange cuttings that I took back in the summer. And I've been trying to nurse along. And I did say in that video that just taking cuttings without using anything like a gibberellic acid or some other sort of rooting hormone specific to this species makes it very difficult to yield success. Stress and conserve. And then on the bottom, I've clipped off the bottom 4 leaves. These sites will basically be the easiest sites for it to root from. And then I've also clipped a 45-degree angle, nice and clean on the bottom, so that it has a nice clean start. And right near the node where I clipped the leaf off, because that's where it's most likely to be able to spawn some new growth, i.e. new roots. So what I'll do, this is Valencia, so I'm just going to stick it in here and kind of press that in a little bit. And this soil is nice and moist, and it stayed moist, and it's not too strong in nutrient. And we're just going to stick these in a shady spot where they can have a chance to kind of recover and try to set roots. Now, I have some friends who are professional greenhouse and commercial growers and propagators, and they tell me the best way to propagate citrus, I think they were using gibberellic acid as a hormone to help trigger root growing, but there's lots of other ways to do it. I've had varying degrees of success with this method, and I figure we'll try this method again. If this is unsuccessful, then we'll switch over and try an air layering method. And I'll share that with you in the future. And I'll probably do that method in the future anyway, just to demonstrate. Right, so that's our Valencia orange. And you can see I've taken most of the vegetative growth off of it. And I probably still, because this plant is growing so tall, and I know they want to control this in an indoor environment or greenhouse eventually, I probably will still come back and prune a little bit of this top back and encourage that growth to spread downward and outward and kind of branch out, because this tree has gotten very tall. So I probably will take this one as well, and that'll give me 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that'll give me 5. But it looks like we do have a few subfibers here. A couple of Valencia orange, and looks like maybe 3, possibly as many as 4 Meyer lemon trees. Definitely that one in the back corner there is looking decent. A little rough shape, but looking decent. And of course this is overgrown with those, I think it's sorrel, wild sorrel weeds, but that'll get cleared out. So I gotta get busy on these and get them transplanted into some planters soon. I just kind of been keeping them watered and keeping an eye on them and kind of nursing them along for now. But just thought I would follow up on that. And while I'm doing that, let's take a look at some blood orange that I got from Hardy Roots. It's a local organic farm stand setup. Those guys do a nice job, and they import some citrus from somewhere, I don't know where, but it's organic and it's really nice stuff. So here they are, blood orange, organic blood orange. that I bought at Hardy Roots for, I think they're like $4 a pound, something like that. Really not a bad price for what they are. I had one, I bought two back over the weekend. That's what the smaller one here is. So I bought two back over the weekend, and I had it, and it was delicious. Oh man. And I think what I'll do is eat that one now and show you the inside of these, because they have a beautiful red flesh on the inside and a very sweet citrusy flavor, much nicer than a regular orange. Sort of like a cross between a grapefruit if it was really sweet and an orange. Anyway, if you haven't tried blood orange, they're excellent. And it's a shame that the blood orange cuttings that I took didn't take, but that's okay. That's an opportunity for us to try another propagation method, which we'll get to shortly. Well, between getting excited eating the orange and watching my friend Jack from Kiki Gardens channel, watching his cats watch squirrels eat their food, I got distracted and forgot to film the red flesh of this. But rest assured, they're delicious. And I didn't realize these had seeds in them. I mean, I'm pretty sure blood orange is a seed propagated variety, not clone only, or scion only. But I didn't realize it had seeds in them. And this one I just ate, I found 2 seeds. So I'll be planting those immediately. And we'll see, maybe we can start some blood orange from seed. That would be even better. So I will get some blood orange video footage at some point. Sorry, I missed it. Well, let's just stay true to our word right off the bat. It's got some fresh pro mix here. No nutrient mixed in. We're just going to try and get these germinated. Just gave it a good soak with some water. We'll put it in under the grow lights on one of the shelves. There we go. Potentially 2 new blood orange trees. So anyway, so that's the blood oranges I was telling you about. The Meyer lemon is struggling along. I don't know if I don't have soil balance right, if I'm overwatering, underwatering. I really have to learn to manage citrus trees better. And this thing has been through a tremendous amount of stress over the past 5 or 6 years with all the moves and environmental changes and such. But it's hanging in there. I'm going to get it back to life again at some point. It has flowered a couple times this year, but you can see we've got some other, I don't know if that's spiders or spider mites or what we got going on here, but so we got some issues to square up. The tomato plants that I brought in, the one was really not doing well, so I just pulled it in the interest of using the space for better things like this citronella plant that my mom gave me that just smells so wonderful. I thought I would keep that over the winter, and I can propagate that out by cuttings in the spring and keep the bugs away while I'm having campfires. The thyme I brought in, I've been in the process of recovering that. And you can see these little green seedlings popping up. I bought some arugula seed to sprinkle in amongst everything. Number 1, to help keep some green cover on the soil as a mulch and a photosynthetic accelerator and all that sort of stuff. And number 2, to give me something to munch off of. I've been making arugula-based salads lately, and they're delicious. And arugula is in the brassica family, and so that comes with a bunch of other benefits like high in sulfuromethane, vitamin C, iron in the right chelated form, and I can go on and on. But anyway, it's excellent stuff, so I planted some in. The, I was going to say Meyer lemon, but it's not. It's citrusy smelling. Lemon verbena, that's what it is. The lemon verbena struggled, as it always does, that crash struggle in the fall when the light changes and the environment changes. And I transplanted it over to this planter and some new soil, and I'm keeping a closer eye on it and giving it some love. And I've kept it under a little bit better lighting now. Oh, and it smells wonderful. And that reminds me I should make some tea with that tonight. But anyway, that's recovering, holding on pretty good. The rosemary, since I've gotten the watering down a little better and I went through and weeded underneath and got rid of all that wild sorrel, and you can see I planted in there arugula seed as well. But you can see all the new growth coming on this thing. It's throwing out shoots, and I'm using this for cooking pretty much every night. I'm trimming some of this off into whatever I'm cooking, whether it's steak or potatoes or whatever. Holy basil in here that sort of volunteered from back in the summer from seeds that fell in is growing well. The peppers are sort of in this homeostasis I don't think we have the right nutrient ratio in the soil for them. It's part of why they're stalled, but that's okay. They can hang out till spring. And you can see we do have some new shoots starting to pop on them, but they're just not quite ready to shoot off. That's all right. We'll hold them off till spring, and then we'll have some nice, well-established plants to trip off the season with. And hopefully by then we'll have at least that 7,500 square foot block fenced in, and we can keep the deer away from things, and rabbits and squirrels and all. Olive trees hanging in there, doing okay. Various ginger and turmeric that I brought in is hanging in. In fact, the turmeric is actually starting to grow back again and shoot up some new growth, and so is the ginger, although they're struggling a bit, but they're doing okay. I turned our lighting power back in here dramatically in the last week or so. Central Hudson's getting a little punchy on the bills, so I thought we would turn it back a little on and cut out a little of their profit. So ginger, another holy basil that volunteered there in the corner. More of the turmeric and ginger, more ginger from our experiment. Actually, these gingers are Rooted Leaf Agritech in that crate, and the one that was controlled that had not been treated with anything in this crate. So long term, it's been like 2 or 3 months. That's looking pretty good as far as Rooted Leaf Agritech nutrients helping boost that ginger. So that's nice. The amaryllis has gone by. I suspect that will make seed soon. And I have seed that I captured from last year that I might start some of that this spring and just run it through just for the heck of it. Ginger mixed in with that, turmeric mixed in with that. And we have our mother fig tree that I took all the fig cuttings from last year, starting to recover also with some more love and care and time and energy. I do see that looks kind of like a powdery mildew or something coming on there. I don't like the look of that. So maybe I will prune that back entirely just to get it out of here. That could also just be like clay dust and such. We have a really fine clay dust around here, and I find it ends up on our fans because of the static charge that they build. I should go through and clean those too. What I really should do is just ramp up our exhaust port fan and come in here with the air compressor and blow everything off and just suck it out. Probably the easiest way to do it. The Texas tarragon is flowering now, so that's kind of nice. That's recovering pretty well from a stressful summer also, or a stressful fall. And let's see, my one Fire 99 times, well, two of them, Fire 99 times Black Limb Reserve cannabis plants are recovering nicely. Nice green growth on them. Good to see them coming through. Really love that strain. I want to keep that running. And then our sweet potatoes are hanging out in homeostasis here. They're struggling a bit too. Not enough light or soil nutrient for them where they're at. My juniper? It's juniper. Might not be juniper. Anyway, that plant's hanging in there. There's another struggling, another struggling rosemary, and the strawberry that was in that little planter. I finally stuck it in here because it was getting overwatered, underwatered, and stressed in that little planter. Seems to be doing well now, so maybe I'll throw out some new shoots and we can propagate out from it. This one holy basil in with the French tarragon is cranking. I've been trimming off of that. It's of course going to seed again. And the tarragon, despite struggling a bit in this soil, I probably should have left this on the farm over the winter and just caged it somehow. It really didn't like that transplant, and I might have overdone it with Rooted Leaf Agritech nutrients on top of that once it transplanted, and then not watered it enough. So combination of things, I think. But still alive and hanging in, so I'm going to keep the faith and keep watering it, and I think it'll come through for me. And this other miscellaneous crate here is mostly turmeric, a little bit of ginger, and then I really wanted to bring these chives in so I could cook baked potatoes with sour cream and chives, that kind of stuff. My friend Marty that I work for gave me these chive seeds and chive plants. And I don't think I got any of the seeds to germinate. I think they stayed in my pocket too long before I put them in the ground. But the one chive plant that he gave me, or two, it was like a little cluster. It was just this little cluster like this when he gave them to me. and they're actually hanging in there and doing well, and they're actually throwing little flowers out. I've wanted to trim off them, but I don't want to stress the plant too much, so I've kind of kept my my snipper fingers away for the time being. But thanks for that, Marty. We'll have to do some baked potato chives and sour cream over the fire or something one of these nights. I guess we'll just take a look in the other grow lab quick. There's not a whole lot going on there, but the catnip's doing well. So here we are in the other grow lab, and this is the catnip that I brought in from outside. They're doing really well, and I actually just harvested some of this off. Harvested it off and dried it over the weekend and just packed it away in here. I guess I won't struggle with that lid. But you can see it dried off nice. This stuff smells incredible. I gotta share this around with some people who have kitties, some kitty friends. This one that's in the planter here that's been in since fall and was cranking before, has gone through struggles. I think it's mostly water. I've had trouble keeping this soil bin watered well. Recently I went through and fingered down holes into it to help distribute my water when I water a little better. Seems to be recovering, and we do see new growth coming on it, so that's nice, and new flowers coming on. And I took some of these flowers, I harvested the last batch of flowers, and I should do that again before it gets out of hand. But I harvested the last batch of flowers and took them to my friend Marty's cat, Sally, and Sally loves them. So it was really cool to see that. And Sally's such a sweet cat. What an awesome cat. Maybe I can get a video clip of her one of these days. She's really cool. What else? The cuttings of, well, I think they were cuttings I took back in the spring last year, and then in the fall I moved these up to these bigger pots. Cuttings of rosemary are doing well. They're starting to bush out nice, and yeah, that's great. This wasn't configured exactly like this before. These two crates underneath this are soil crates that I just mixed up fresh soil mix in about a week ago, and I'm just trying to move them out of the way in the lab tonight, so I stuck them under this so the catnip would get a little more light. I don't think that'll hurt anything, but anyway, so that's the update for mid-January 2025 for the Grow Labs. I hope you found this interesting or informative. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you feel it's appropriate. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Happy 2025, and let's make it another good one.